Welcome back to Man Across New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, and shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today in a rather late episode. I'm not going to say as per usual, just more like I couldn't be bothered today to do it earlier, so you know we're recording now. What should we talk about? I'm not really sure. I could talk about this, but I'm not going to talk about this because it's, you know, it's not like it's explicit, but it's like sort of like 18 plus. Oh no, it's not really 18 plus. Well, the way I'm describing it makes it sound like explicit when really it's not as violent, I suppose, is because it's I was watching Northern Nine play that new Dark Pictures anthology game, what's it called, The Devil and Me, and honestly there's not really much to say about it. It's not great, I would say, but it's amusing, and I kind of only watch it for Northern Nine. But anyway, we'll get on to that in a second. Good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 11:01 PM on Monday, January 2nd, 2023. So of course we have second day of 2023, and almost on to third day already, to be honest. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, so I watched The Devil and Me, you know, Dark Pictures anthology. If you don't know, it's from the creators Super Giant. I always get them confused. One of them does Hades, and one of them is one of them does things like Until Dawn, Quarryville, which are basically sort of like cheesy horror movie-esque games. You know, they basically are interactive horror movies, I suppose, like the cheesy ones from like 90s, 80s, or I don't know, whatever that genre sort of hails from. You might be like, what do you think about it? They're sort of like apology, you can't move on, but they're interesting, I suppose. I've never been like a huge fan of those sort of like campfire like horror flicks. I don't really know if that's what they're called or whatnot necessarily, but it's very much sort of thing where I'm like, okay. I'm just not like particularly invested in them, and I'm much more watching it just because of the person who playing it in the first place was someone entertaining enough for me to watch. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about that because, you know, there's a lot of like you know, gruesome stuff which ends up happening in it, which is probably not very particularly appropriate for Animal Crossing commentary. We're here to talk about nice things, but you know, it's a nice sort of warm-up conversation. Why there's so many Fawnhollowers out here in the plaza today. So yeah, what can I talk about? I don't know. It's sort of the second day of January. We're going on to third day. Everything's sort of coming back to normal. We had a bank holiday here today. In the UK, if you don't know what bank holidays are, they're basically just sort of random sporadic days spread out through the year, which, you know, are days off. So like no one goes to school, no one goes to, well, okay, I shouldn't say no one goes to school, no one goes to work. People probably still go to school and people go to work, but it's sort of just a generic public holiday for whatever reason. And I generally don't know why they exist, but they're great, to be perfectly honest, because it's nice to have a sort of relax, a recharge, I suppose, especially after the rather chaotic, I suppose, New Year's and that sort of thing. Although I must say it was rather convenient this year, because the Christmas and all that, Christmas and New Year's, both of them landed on weekends this year, which is like, oh, you know, that's convenient. Okay, so of course Red's not here, and Tortora's not going to be here because it's a little bit too late, but we're still going to talk to Katrina. We're welcoming in the Year of Rabbit, I suppose, in Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year is actually also incredibly early this year, from what I recall. It's going to be later this year in January, I think. You might be like, are you going to celebrate it in Animal Crossing? Probably. No, well, in real life too, probably. I don't know why I started with Animal Crossing first. There's not really much that goes on celebration-wise in Animal Crossing, but I should probably check the Nook Shopping. There's no really point in checking the Nook Shopping Terminal, but I don't think there's many things I need to buy from Nook Shopping Terminal which are holiday-based. If there are, it's only for Happy in Paradise anyway. But there was one item though I should have bought, but I don't remember which one it is, to be honest, and who knows if I missed it. What else should I talk about? You know, to be honest, I mainly just spent today playing games about software, but not recording. I should have been building up more of a backlog, but you know, honestly, I might just record. It's quite late right now. No, I probably won't record any. I'll record it tomorrow when I get back into the schedule. Turns out, even during holiday times, things are kind of busy, but I have a little bit of a backlog. I've got about a week's of a backlog. You know, I do want to build up at least 2 weeks, and then throughout February, I need to build up to about 3 weeks or so of a backlog, including Animal Crossing videos. You might be like, why? It's because I'm going on holiday near the start-ish of March for about 2 weeks or something, and rather than just skipping out those days, which I could do, you know, if I've got the opportunity to, why not build up a backlog and then eventually, you know, be able to record it. It's a benefit of being able to have 20-minute episodes now, is that anytime I recorded 2 episodes before, now I can fit in 3. Well, actually before it was like recorded 3 episodes would be 1.5 hours, so that would be, now I could record like 4 episodes. That's crazy. But yeah, thank you for all your well wishes of the new year. Hopefully you all had a nice new year as well. I genuinely just don't know what to talk about today, to be honest. I'm just trying to think if there was something particularly on my mind. But it's not really. It's just like a cool down period, you know. People are, it's a wind down. Things are going back to normal. People, you know, welcomed in the new year. Maybe people are doing a first day of following a New Year's resolutions today, tomorrow, whatnot, what have you. Me, I don't know. I just took a time to unwind, to be honest. Not to say that I haven't had like days to unwind, but unwind in a different way, you know. But it was sort of like a cathartic unwind where, you know, it's like a do nothing day. That sort of unwind rather than a relaxed day where, you know, you're hanging out with friends or family or whatnot and having, where you don't have any sort of like obligations outside of that. That is of course very relaxing days in their own right. But the thing is, you know, sometimes you just want days where you don't basically do anything, you know. The days where you watch some like terrible TV, like reality TV shows. Not me personally. I don't really like reality TV. Maybe you do that. You just play whatever games that you're really used to. That's what I do. You read a book that you've already read before or something, or just, you know, just keep it chill. You know, keep it relaxed. I'm genuinely trying to think of something to talk about though. Because I can't just talk about nothing forever. I mean, I can. You know, like watch me. But I'm not going to. You know, you need to say more than that. What can I talk about? I picked up some Steam games, I suppose. You might see them coming up in future Let's Plays. Should I tell you what if I use one word to destroy and describe each game that I picked up? So this one... Actually, it might be too obvious if I say all of these. How about this one starts with R, this one I, this one S, this one B, this one I, this one G, this one E, this one T. Ooh, what could they be? One of them you'll probably see very soon, actually, straight after the Cuphead Let's Play. It's what I believe I have lined up to be after Cuphead, because Cuphead's it's not quite nearly over, you know. I'm fighting the devil or whatnot, and, you know, I'd imagine I'm going to S-rank spoilers, haven't S-ranked the devil yet, oh yeah, that video also got published earlier, I believe, but I don't think anyone saw it, particularly, but, you know, if you did see it, then fair enough to you. I just literally just set the wrong date for it. I set the Animal Crossing date for it, which is genuinely what happens when I mess things up, I suppose, like that. But yeah, yeah. I mean, it's finishing. I'm not going to say somewhat soon, because it's not really somewhat soon, because I still have, apart from fighting S-ranking devil, when I need to do the DLC. The DLC will be pretty difficult, I think. I don't think it'll be outrageously difficult. I'm just trying to think. Because Chef's Salt Bake is probably going to be the most difficult one, to be perfectly honest. I've got a new item in my inventory, apparently. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a trading card. Oh, it's a Steam trading cards for the Steam sale. I got a lot of these, to be honest. I guess as it was coming out, should we look at a discovery queue? You know, let's see if there's any of these other games that I'm particularly interested in. Discovery queue, I must say, because I've already gone through so many games. There's so many games I'm not interested in. Like this, Marauders, Red Baron, not interested. This doesn't look like my sort of game. Melatonin. It's a rhythm game about dreams and reality merging together. You know what? This does seem interesting. It seems like chill and vibe. Add to my wish list. Would I buy it? No. Quite potentially I'll end up removing it from my wish list sooner or later. I guess I'll just talk about wish lists or whatever. 8 minutes in? Yeah, we can talk about wish lists for about 12 minutes. Gorilla Tag? I don't know. This screams to me like a sort of whatchamacallit? One of those like gimmicky party chaotic games. It's kind of what's that game where you play as like these little like clay looking people, like not human for flat, but the other one, the competitive one. Anyway, not my sort of game. So next in queue, Ixion is a city builder odyssey, but doesn't sound like my sort of game. Skip queue. Like, I have a very specific type of game that I like, don't I? So Chained Echoes looks like a JRPG, kind of interesting, but I'm not really in the mood for this sort of RPG. This seems to be sort of like a sci-fi cross fantasy thing, which, you know, some people certainly like. Not me, you know. I'm not much of I don't even know what I like. Anyway, Madden 23, absolutely not. Get out of it. I don't even know how you play American football. Potionomics, I've actually heard a lot about. I've heard good things about this. And to me, it kind of looks like that game. What I can't remember what that game's called, but that game where a Reciteer, that shop game, which I also own, and I've been meaning to play for ages. And what's the most important thing when you take into considering and pick out nuclear style, probably, but out of these, fabric, price, comfort. I'm gonna go price out of these. I read somewhere By the way you pick out your clothes says a lot about where others see you. You pick based on value, so I bet that means you have a reputation for being sensible and straightforward. You're probably thought of as a no-nonsense, what you see is what you get type. Sort of? I like that. I mean, if I had to rate the order I do things in, it would very much be style, do I like it? You know, can I conceive of me wearing this? Then price, like, is it good enough value? You know, sometimes the price is willing to flex a bit depending on how much I like it. And then I guess it'd be fabric out of those two. Comfort definitely. I mean, I do buy for comfort depending, but it sort of depends what I'm buying. If I'm buying like hoodies and sweats to wear, sweats. Who calls it sweats? I mean, I don't call it sweats. Like tracksuits, not tracksuit buttons. What are they called? Sweatpants. There we go. To wear at home, then yeah, I definitely prioritize comfort. But it just kind of depends what you're doing. Anyway, wishlist. Postnomics, you get added to wishlist. You look kind of cool. Next in queue, Monster Road Trip. I've heard a lot about, and one of my friends really wants me to play it, so I added to my wishlist. That's just like explicit, so I'm not going to play that. I'm not going to put that one. Bear and Breakfast. I've heard about Bear and Breakfast. I don't. We'll come back to Bear and Breakfast. I'll skip it for now. Across the Obelisk. This looks like Darkest Dungeon. Doesn't really look like my sort of game. And Valheim Mistlands doesn't look like that sort of game. Hold on. Bear and Breakfast. I heard about this game. It's not my wish list, surprisingly. So is it well reviewed? It's a charming management sim. It's good and bad. It feels like a walking sim. I'll put up my wish list. Look, I need like 2 wish lists. I need a wish list like, yes, I want this game, and another one was like, I just want to keep my eye on this game. I'm curious about this game. You might be like, that's a follow button. Yeah, but I don't know. If I follow it, then that's sort of like, you see announcements and stuff. No, I want like a spreadsheet. I want like 2 spreadsheets. To be like, yes, this is one I'm actively interested in, and this is one I'm sort of vaguely interested in. And you might be like, why don't you just order your wish list? Because there's 44 games on it. It takes a lot. I do sometimes go through my, not regularly, like every sale or so, I'll go through my wish list and then I'll prune the ones which I'm like, I'm no longer interested in this game anymore. I could do that now, I don't know. I don't know why some of these games get automatically sorted. I don't know why Shadows of Loathing is perpetually at the bottom for some reason. But a lot of these games are sort of like coming soon. So, you know, I feel like we shouldn't necessarily be on the wish list, but I don't know, maybe not. I just need 2 wish lists. Like, Backbone's still on here, because it's a game which looks like it's such an interesting style, and it's made me very curious about it, but apparently it's not very good. Which is a bit of a shame, and I probably shouldn't play a game which is not very good. Before Your Eyes, heard about a Spook Wave, I don't even know what this is. Cat Goes Fishing, and it's still on here. It seems still going on. It's still going on. When does it stop? January 5th. You don't have long. You don't have long to purchase games you want. You might think about like, what other wish lists you had? And now I think about it, I don't really have any other wish lists. You might be like, what, like an Amazon wish list or something like that, where you know, see all the stuff that you want to buy. Like, I do have technically, I suppose, like a shopping list of things which I do need to buy. I don't know what's on it right now actually, because I very recently have bought things. So, what's this, a text? Okay, well, it's not a text I need to reply to. It's just important to know. Let's see, what to-do list, I suppose. I need to buy a keyboard, that is true. Video game sale, I've already done that. Okay, I can get that off the list. New laptop? You know, I've been talking about that for a while, I still haven't done it. SSD? I was thinking about getting another SSD so I can have like something just to store videos on, but I don't really need it at the moment. You know, I'm not quite running out of space. Like, I'm getting low on space, but not running out, so. False eyelashes? That's on here, okay. I should also put, I can't remember, there was a makeup I was running out of. Oh, you know, that was it, eyeliner. I'll put that on here, just so I can remember that I need to pick some of this up when I next get the good opportunity to. And what brand do I use in my eyes? I use NYX. Nay, as I've typed it here. It was again, just another sort of episode of me just doing my own sort of chores. Which I should have been doing today, but you know, today was a lazy day. Hair accessories, I don't know why this is on here. Necessarily. That's a sort of like a continuous thing, rather than a specific thing in general. But yeah, I don't know, wish lists. I don't have an Amazon wish list. You know, I know what some people do, which is pretty useful. In general, is that they make like sort of like Christmas and birthday wish lists, where it's sort of just like, hey, you know, these are potential things that I do continuously want, but have not bought yet. If you want to buy me a present, you can buy me something from that, which in general is pretty good. But it very much, you know, only a certain type of people, a certain type of person would keep it updated, and only a certain type of person would actually use it right in the first place. Which is a bit of a, I'm not saying it's bad. I actually think it's a fantastic system because, you know, there's the number of times people, you know, which are just like, I hate buying presents for people because I never know what to get them. Fair enough, you know. I'm not like an expert at buying presents for people. I can buy presents for definitely my close friends and that sort of thing. And then if you're a stranger or someone I don't know very well, I can buy you a generic present probably, but it's not going to be like amazingly personalized. I do like getting personalized gifts if I can, but you know, it's a bit of effort. I'm going to be honest, and at least for me personally, gifting isn't like, you know, if we're going to use the love language sort of idea, despite love language is sort of like not proven or whatever, it's not really my love language in both giving or taking or receiving, I suppose. So it's, you know, not the greatest way to win me over, I think. Oh, hello everyone, what's up? But it is still nice, you know, especially, you know, being able to just like have no confusion about like this is something you want. But the problem is, you know, if you're like some of my friends are like, hey, if I want something, I'll just buy it. You know, one friend especially is very difficult to buy presents for. You know, where every time we celebrate his birthday, we're like, oh, what do we get him? Because he's very much the sort of person who is like, oh, I see something, I want something, I'll buy it, unless it's literally like prohibitively like in the thousands expensive, then he won't buy it. Or at least he'll consider investing into it, but not an immediate buy, which makes it very difficult because it's sort of like, you know, anything he might want or need at the moment, he's already got. So having a nice little wish list is quite useful in its own regard. And you might be like, why don't you have your own sort of like present wish list? Well, it's the same sort of thing, whereas like it's not like when I want something I buy it. I'm not quite like that. It's more like when I want something, I often think about it for a while and then realise sometimes I don't actually need a thing, but if I do actually need a thing, then I'll buy it. So sort of like, if I made a wish list, you know, I'd have to keep it very updated for something which, you know, I don't even want, you know, not that I don't want people to give me presents necessarily, not like if you give me a present, I'm going to be like, screw you or something. It's more like, you know, there are other things you can buy me which don't require a wish list. Plushies, always generically loved because, and I tend to like the personal sense and the personal the thought that's went into it, I suppose, in the first place, and experiences. So, you know, take me to go see like a musical or something, I'll be like, yes. Because it's something which I don't do for myself, because it is a thing, you know, I tend to not treat myself, and, you know, I often be like, treat yourself a lot on times when you should treat yourself, but I don't treat myself all that often, you know, and a lot of times I'm perfectly, oh my god, just like stand still, perfectly content, you know, as things are sometimes. So, mind if I sit down with you guys? Actually, you know, I should sit this way. Why am I sitting like this, like an absolute lunatic? And well, I can sit down like this. Here we go. Take a picture of that. Adorable. But yeah, it's the sort of thing where, I don't know, they're very useful things, depending on the type of person you are, I suppose. And yeah, but you know, it's sort of like hit or miss. I guess it never misses, huh? But yeah, I don't know. My Steam wishlist is at least pretty cool. Probably useful, you know, for my friends if they, you know, I certainly do like my game. So if you want to buy me a game, you can definitely buy me something from the Steam wishlist. Probably, and that's definitely something I do keep quite up to date. I do generally order it. But I ordered it at the start of the sales, I think, when I just bought most things from the top. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to round up this episode here. Wish lists, I guess. Sorry, not the most enticing conversation, but, you know, we're getting back into the swing of things. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me Dear Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewells. Until next time. Bye-bye for now.